Who the hell? I see what you've got marked there. Who
Yeah.
the hell considers the barbarian the premier improvised melee attacker?
I don't know.
Oh,
That's what I was getting ready to. That's what I was because it was
that was
going along with what Logue said. Like they feel like it's stepping on toes of people, but
mhm.
unfortunately, it seems. And this comes from comicbook.com for those of you who are listening. World. Unfortunately, it seems that playtesters felt that the subclass shared too much space with the monk, who specializes in unarmed combat, and the barbarian, who serves currently as the premier improvised attacker. I don't think so. When I
No,
think of barbarian, I always think of two-handed weapons. I don't even think of
Yeah,
shield, and I
two-handed
know a lot
weapons
of
or two weapons in each
weapon
hand.
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I think they're confusing. It's stepping on the savage attacker of the barbarian.
yeah,
That
not
that
the
that
improvised
that what? Not template. That's not the right word. I'm blanking on the word.
feature
Archetype.
archetype. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stepping on the archetype of the savage attacker of the
They need
barbarian.
to fix that thing too, though, because
Yeah.
that thing is lame as
So
shit.
so what I would say is that okay, get away from the unarmed combat. Instead, focus on improvised combat as your thing, picking up something from the ground and bashing somebody's skull in with it.
I don't want
Like,
to hear. Oh, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was saying like that scale would work if they're only using an improvised weapon.
I don't.
Get rid of throwing hands, make it more about smashing a bottle and using it to cut somebody.
Nah, fuck. I still want to throw hands, bro. I still want to throw hands as a fighter. Like I like the idea of mystical monk. Like not everybody's good. I have to have Kai points or I have to have the way of the freaking Shang Chi out here to freaking throw hands. I don't think so. I like being able to just throw hands, but I also want to go like this idea of stepping on the toes of what other classes do. I really don't want to hear that from because, and this is where I could kind of tell that these playtesters are not like actual playtesters or these are not results from them because that is all 5e has done with when they've released new classes of well we know that you could do this so we're going to make this class able to do it too and it's
Yeah,
like why
we're
you've taken
most of
away
your
class identity
subclasses. Most of your subclasses are class A with a touch of class B.
exactly so this idea there's like oh well it's stepping on the toes bull snap
Yeah,
bullshit
we'll
come
give
on
you a class that's a fighter with a touch of mage. We'll call it Eldritch Knight. We'll give you the thief class with a touch of mage, and we've got the arcane trickster.
I'm
So
that's
they,
all I'm saying. So this idea
yeah,
of like stepping on toes, I think that's their way. Like they read the scale and they're like, this is probably what they thought.
yeah.
Eh. And then
Instead of going back and going, okay, how could we fix this?
I like I said, I don't like I had my issues. I have to go back, man, and think
No,
about what I said. I had my issues, and I think it was more like I wanted to change some of the damage dice and move a couple things around.
yeah,
And I'm pretty sure that's what I said. 'Cause it's been so long since we've done that episode.
we
That
I think we
And
were all in agreement on it too.
I
yeah,
think part of the thing is though is because they're doing such a bad. If they had a great monk
oh, that
in
was
one of
like
these
2 months
playtests,
ago.
yeah. But if they already had a great monk doing another class that was an unarmed combatant, I don't think would have
I
ticked people off as much.
I
I think
just
part of the thing is that the monk is so bad
it
that
is.
they're like, fix this first.
It is,
And they're misinterpreting that fix this first as no, we don't want this.
but I also don't want to see. I really don't want to see the fact. Like I don't want having to be able the ability to like fight, like to throw
Mhm.
hands, punch, kick, fight like that should not be tied behind. Well, I have to go train with Jackie Chan over in Nepal for a couple years before I can actually throw hands worth a damn. I should be able to like. All right, I grew up in the back streets, and it was fighting rings and things like that that made me tough as a fighter. And now I can actually fight with let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Mic check.
There's a little bit of a scaling problem with that though, because that kind of a fighter gets into a fight with somebody wearing full plate armor. How are you punching through that full plate
I'm
armor
gonna tell you, you rock
without
somebody's
some
car.
kind of
Look, you ever have your shit rocked with a Kevlar on?
you're gonna break your hand if you punch with steel
I'm gonna
plate
tell
armor.
you. I'm gonna tell you. I've had my like so fun story time. Story time with the pirate captain. There I was, Afghanistan, 2012. And we were on a convoy from Leatherneck to Delaram, and I saw something in the road, and I slammed on the brakes, and I gut checked my gunner. Like he ended up like hitting the 240 that he had, hit him square in the chest, knocked the wind out of him. And because I didn't give him a
You
warning,
should have saw that coming.
that's 240 is not a saw, 249 is a saw. But I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take the appreciation of that. So I end up air checked him. He wouldn't have seen it anyway because that wasn't our sector of fire. Our sector of fire was over to the right. When this happened, and so I ended up checking him with the thing. He reached down and freaking waylaid me across the head with his open hand in my helmet, and it rocked my world. You can rock somebody's world by hitting them in the like. Just you don't even have to hit very hard, but if you're wearing a helmet and have somebody hit you in the head, that stuff hurts. It's gonna. It's he called it the attention getter.
Yeah.
And I got my butt chewed by him and my team leader about why I just slammed on the brakes. So that's all I'm saying. You can still do damage against the plate wear and stuff like that, but you're not going to find too many plate wearers either early on. You'll find like the half plates
Early,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
But by fourth or fifth level, almost every fighter that can wear full plate probably is.
So maybe there's
And you got 15 more levels to
you're
go.
you're probably pretty you're probably pretty strong though as a fighter though,
Mhm.
because you think about like blacksmiths. Think about guys that have worked in metal forges like a long time and their body like toughens out. And I'm not saying like 1 through 4 is a long time. It all depends upon how you set your campaign leveling process up. But by the time you're getting there, you've probably been in some pretty good scraps. Your body is like tougher to where you can make these kind of hits. And are you going to be as effective probably as a monk? No, but then I would just play the monk. The idea
Okay.
is
See, and
which
the idea is the monk uses his ki and body, mind
he
over
knows
matter, mind over matter, and that's what allows him. Just like you see in the the people who are breaking the concrete bricks, even
well
though
that's
it's in the real world, that's kind of a trick.